Boy, when I see you, comedian Godfrey claims Steve Harvey threatened to beat him up over his impression of the game show host. Asked about it during an appearance on Club Shay Shay with Shannon Sharpe that streamed on March 20th. He went viral back in January for his impression of Harvey seemingly responding to Cat Williams' scolding on the same platform. But it was his impersonation during a 2019 episode of his podcast, In Godfrey We Trust, that hilariously garnered more than 3 million views and went viral. Sharpe asked Godfrey if Harvey was upset by the impression. I read that he wasn't that enthused by it, said Sharpe. After noting that Harvey had once given him some good advice about working in the industry, Godfrey told the story behind the funny impression. Fast forward to about 4 years ago. I'm on my podcast, by the way, In Godfrey We Trust, on the Gas Digital Network, said the comedian at the 30-minute time mark. So, the guy that I was co-hosting with, he was like, he said something, he answered the question real fast, like he got frantic. I said, damn, this ain't the Family Feud, and I was like,
I'm gonna look at that answer. Survey said.
Why is this nigga always surprised?
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
nigga,
like
you
this.
know what they said.
That shit. Here.
Oh man.
Oh
That fucking
no.
Steve Harvey be like,
Here.
he be like, what your ass say? Yeah. I mean, your ass. I mean, she said, I said the top fruit. Yeah. She said, oh, hell no. She said, oh. She was like, ah! I'm just saying, y'all. Let's go to the bull. I'm gonna read that one more goddamn time. Yeah. Oh, hell no. Yeah. What the hell? What the hell?
You know good goddamn well.
Steve Harvey.
I want to say banana, Steve.
Fuck.
Oh, shit. Oh, hell no. You mean that your head? She said, yeah.
Party.
So they said. The hell was that? Yeah.
he wasn't that enthused by it, said Sharpe. After noting that Harvey had once given him some good advice about working in the industry, Godfrey told the story behind the funny impression, say that multiple comedians called to let him know that his impression had gone viral. The 54-year-old added that Harvey sent him a text after seeing the impression, and Godfrey did another hilarious impression while telling the story. So it went, kept going viral and Steve sent me a text, Godfrey explained before using his Steve voice.
I never had a toilet. I had a doo-doo outside in the backyard. I'm gonna tell you that right now. No, let's go. But I'm gonna tell you now, how the hell are you gonna tell me that the East is gonna beat the West? Come on, Skip. Come on. Tell me. You know, it's like with a lot of impersonators. Right. You got Pharaoh, you got Ari Spears, and you hear it, and if it's in your range, it's a natural gift. It's like when musicians can just go, all right, let me just play. You know, they can play something and tune. It's like when they tune it with a piano or a horn. Right. It's the same shit. Like one of my first impersonations was Ali. Okay. When I was like 5. Okay. Because my relatives come from Nigeria. Okay. And they would say, do Muhammad Ali. We'll give you $1. I'd be like, I'm fast, I'm pretty, I shook up the world. I'm the greatest. I told you Howard Cosell, you too ugly. Joe Frazier's too ugly. Ken Norton's too ugly. George Foreman's too ugly. I'm fast, I must be the greatest. I used to do that at 5. Right. And so I was like, okay, I could do voices. And so I would cartoon characters. And what's up, Doc? I would do that. Right. So I was just always into imitating people. And then when I started comedy, it was like my first time I was in a comedy team for a year. Okay. All right. And this is Chicago. I'm from Chicago. You know, shout out to all the Chicago comedians.
Because I heard they say Chicago got the best comedian. That's what Lil Rel told me about.
Lil Rel might be right on that one, because Chicago...
What about the DMV? You know, they got Quake
They got, listen, man, I ain't from the DMV. Fuck all that. I said it. I said Chicago got the best. You got me, you got Deion Cole, you got D. Ray Davis, you got Lil Rel, Bernie Mac. Shout out to Bernie Mac.
Rest his soul.
And there's other cats. My man Evan Lionel, who literally started Bernie Mac in his career, who literally started comedy for black comics in Chicago. Evan Lionel, got to give him his credit. But there's a lot of great comics from Chicago. You got Adele Gibbons.
Yes.
Adele Gibbons. You got from The Talk. Cheryl Underwood is from Chicago. We got a lot of great and a lot of younger people coming up. But yeah, we're all at Craig Robinson.
Right. Okay.
Craig Robinson from Chicago. So you have a lot. It's something about Chicago. We're all different.
Mm-hmm.
We're all different styles. Everybody says none of you are the same. I said it's something about Chicago. But I started out in a comedy team.
Right.
And a team with another guy was Godfrey and Alexander. And my first time on stage, it was impersonations.
Godfrey revealed to Shannon Sharpe on the Club Shay Shay podcast how he discovered his spot-on Steve Harvey impression by chance. The 54-year-old comedian recalled when his co-host answered a question really fast on an episode of the In Godfrey We Trust podcast. "Damn, this ain't the Family Feud," he thought to himself before responding with an impression of Harvey. "So, I did it on some bullshit, and then the next day, everybody said, 'Your shit is going viral,'" he remembered. Soon after, a few comedians reached out to him, including stand-up impressionist Jay Farrow, who was unaware that he had a Steve Harvey impression.
People, if you know TK Kirk, TK, I ran into him because I would do shows with him at this club, all jokes aside. And then TK said, "Godfrey, man, I need to take you to New York City." He's like, "I like your style. You kind of corny, but you know what? I like you, and I'm going to find you a manager." So he found me, and this is facts. He found me my first manager.
Right.
And, remember Anthony Michael Hall? Remember Breakfast Club, the movie Breakfast Club, or 16 Candles?
Mm-hmm.
With
Molly Ringwald.
The little Molly Ringwald with the little blonde kid.
Mm-hmm.
His dad was my manager.
Okay.
Tom Chistaro. They've passed him and his partner, David Kleeman. TK hooked us all up. It was me, Mike Epps. It was like John Leguizamo. It was, it was Sandra Bullock. And this is me moving to New York City. I packed up, drove 20 hours. You know what I'm saying? I said, it's time. I got my agent. Mm-hmm. This is all from TK doing. As soon as I got to New York City on my own, I started doing the New York circuit. That's when I I would meet like Tracy Morgan and all these, Chappelle, everybody.
I'm wondering, Steve Harvey here. Yeah. You thought I was going to run, huh? Y'all wondering, where's Steve Harvey? I know people been waiting on my response to what Cat Williams done said on Club Shay Shay. I was on Club Shay Shay before Cat Williams. See, the reason why it took so long, I had to pray to God to give me the strength not to get mad. God talked to me every day, every damn day. I've been in this business a long time, boy. See, you done messed up with the wrong one. See, you just sitting there talking that bullshit to Shannon Sharpe, talking about I couldn't be a movie star. I guess you didn't see you got served. Yeah, that there was acting. Huh? Then you gonna say I took Mark Curry's jokes and stole his show. Boy, you got the nerve to call me Mr. Potato Head. Calling my ass Mr. Potato Head. Woo! That was a good one. I ain't gonna lie. That was a good one. But I digress. So what? I wore a wig. Huh? People asking, why did you wear a wig? Where and when did you get the wig? Whatever. But your ass thought that shit was real. Everybody thought my shit was tight. They thought it was a real hairline. Huh?
So as soon as I got to New York City and I started doing the New York circuit, that's when I I would meet like Tracy Morgan and all these, Chappelle, everybody. I was meeting all kinds of people. And that was when, I said, yeah, I'm going to start doing this on my own. When I drove 20 hours in a U-Haul truck.
Right.
20 hours with my friend Bernadette, who was in Love Jones. My manager at the time said, you can do a lot of voices, but don't count on that. Don't make that your thing.
Okay.
Build on your your comedy, build on your jokes and your material. And I said, okay, I'm gonna do that. So the voice thing now, people didn't even know I did all these voices until the pandemic.
Wow.
Nobody knew because I've auditioned for different like sketch comedy shows. Living Color, didn't get that shit. SNL rejected me 3 times. 3 times. I auditioned for SNL in, was it 98, 99?
Right.
It was me, Tracy Morgan, Jimmy Fallon, Kevin James, a lot of motherfuckers. I got a standing ovation that night because I did Cosby, I did Johnny Carson, I don't even remember the other people I did, but I did a bunch of them, did a bunch of characters, and I didn't even get to the second round. Wow. Didn't even make it to the second round. And you know, as a young comic, I'm only 3 years in, I'm auditioning for SNL.
Right.
Eddie Murphy is my superhero. Eddie Murphy? Like, I might be able to do what Eddie Murphy did? Because I saw Eddie Murphy in college.
Right. Okay.
When he was doing the Raw tour.
Yes.
He came by our school, and I was like, shit. I was like, damn. And I have to give Tommy Davidson credit from the DMV. He came and performed in my college. He was one of the main guys that really influenced me to do comedy because in college is when I wanted to do comedy. I was like, yeah. My 3rd year, I was like, I think I want to do comedy. I was a pre-med psych major, you know, and I was like, yeah, there was Tommy Davidson because Tommy Davidson, I showed him around the campus. He came to my campus, I showed him around. And then some years later, when I got to New York doing comedy in New York, I did this show called Premium Blend. Premium Blend is on Comedy Central. That was when Comedy Central was funny.
Right. Oh.
I know. That's when it was live.
That was a sneak diss.
That's when Comedy Central was dope, you know. And so Premium Blend is like you get up there and you do like 7 minutes. So this was exciting for me. I've never done TV. Comedy on TV, and what's funny as things go round and round, Tommy Davidson was the host of that show I was on. Wow. And he remembered me. He said, "You dude that showed me around your campus." I was like, "Yo, you're one of the main reasons I wanted to do comedy."
Right.
So it was Tommy Davidson.
Godfrey C. Danchima Jr., born July 21, 1969, professionally known as Godfrey, is an American comedian, impressionist and actor who has appeared on BET, VH1, Comedy Central, and feature films, such as Soul Plane, Original Gangstas, Zoolander, and Johnson Family Vacation. He was also a spokesperson for 7-Up during the popular 7-Up Yours advertising campaign and a cast member on the first season of The It Factor, a reality television show. Currently, he is a regular performer at the comedy club Comedy Cellar in New York. He is also known for doing the voices of Mr. Stubborn and Mr. Tall, Season 2, in the Mr. Men show and hosting the Fox game show Bullseye. Godfrey also hosted his own radio show on SiriusXM until he parted ways with the show in July 2019. He now owns and hosts a podcast called In Godfrey We Trust on the Gas Digital Network. He is also known for collaborating with other social media stars such as King Bach, D Storm Power, etc. He was once a regular guest on Vlad TV.
Growing up, obviously, you say you grew up in Chicago. Did you always want to do comedy? What did you want to do before you discovered comedy?
Okay. I thought I was going to be a baseball player. I was a shortstop. I played baseball from Little League up to high school. I thought I was going to be a shortstop.
Okay.
And I thought I was going to be an astronaut. I wanted to be either an astronaut or a baseball player. That's what I thought I was going to be because I was a space nerd.
Well, there's a lot of things in between that, but okay.
No, I thought I was going to be a baseball player or a shortstop or an astronaut.
Yeah.
I loved
You can play baseball in space.
On the moon, like, and I was a space nerd. I wanted to work for NASA, you know what I'm saying? And I thought I was that's what I never thought about comedy, but I loved watching comedies. My family and my parents, we watched comedy. My mother was a big movie watcher, especially comedies.
Okay.
You know, with Three Stooges, Don Knotts, Honeymooners, Dick Van Dyke, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Flip Wilson show. We were a TV, there was only so many channels back then.
Yeah.
So you watched everything. Carol Burnett, Pryor. People don't realize Pryor was on TV sometimes. Red Fox.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And I never thought about comedy until college.
Right.
Because people always say, "Oh, you were funny. Why did you start doing comedy?" Because people say I was funny. It wasn't even really like that because my friends were funny too. But in college, I used to always hold court in the cafeteria.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I used to hold court in the cafeteria, and I was real militant at the time.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh, you want more cry freedoms.
I was like, Stephen Biko, I was that dude. When I got to college,
Godfrey's parents are from Nigeria. Their Nigerian heritage is of the Igbo tribe. They immigrated to the U.S. to escape the Nigerian Civil War. Godfrey is a nephew of Nigerian musician Sonny Okason. Godfrey was born in Lincoln, Nebraska, on July 21, 1969. Soon after, the family settled in Chicago where Godfrey grew up. He attended Lane Technical College Preparatory High School and received an academic scholarship to the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, where he majored in psychology. At the University of Illinois, he made the varsity football team and performed at a traditional talent show for new team members. He stole the show, performing impressions of his coaches and teammates, discovering his comedic talent.
I went to Illinois, Big Ten, and it was about 40,000 students there, 800 black. About 800 black. Wow. But we had the biggest fraternal and sororal system in Illinois. We had everybody. We had Spanish fraternities. We had a bunch of white fraternities, but we had the Kappas, the Qs. We had the alphas. We had Iota Phi Theta Sigma. We had Deltas, Sigma Gamma Rho. We had AKs. We had everybody. So all the black people hung together.
Right.
Stuck together. And the athletes. I went to school where it was Nick Anderson.
Okay.
Kendall Gill.
Yep.
Henry Jones, who played for the Bills.
Yeah, I know him.
Yeah, Derek Brownlow and all those. Jeff George was our guy. So, so I got militant because it was just a small group of people. We had our little black African-American cultural center, right? That was a little dilapidated, but they gave that to us. And so we formed this group. And we said, why don't we start reading books about our people? They're not teaching us anything. So we got into all that shit. Spike Lee movies are playing,
right?
Do the Right Thing, all of that. So it was all this, and Public Enemy is playing. We listened to Tribe Called Quest and Brand Newbie and all that other shit. We're listening. So I was very militant and reading all these different books. Like, here we go. Ready? Stolen Legacy, ISIS Papers, Francis Cress Welsing, Autobiography of Malcolm X. I was reading everything. I was reading another book, Bucks, Coons, Mulattoes, and Mammies, The History of Blacks in Film by Donald Bogle. I was reading, Stereotypes that they still repeat now. So I was reading all that. So I was black. Everything was black.
Right.
Fight the power. My father would be like, what are you doing? What is all of this black? It's okay, but what are you do your studies? But I say, Dad, you don't understand. The black man and the black woman is suffering, man. Yeah. White supremacy, that's okay, but we're spending money on college. You don't have to. It's okay, it's okay. You don't have to be, it's not too much black. It's okay, do your homework.
As a guest of Mike Ward's show called F***CK Les Varietés, part of the Just for Laughs 2012 Festival of Montreal, his performance was highly acclaimed. In the following year, he had his own solo show called The Godfrey Complex, in the same festival for a whole week. His second one-hour special, Godfrey, Regular Black, was shot in Chicago, his hometown, on August 12, 2016.
So I was that guy. I would go see black speakers.
Right.
I watched Stokely Carmichael came to our university. I was that dude. And then I started incorporating it in holding court. I was talking about racism, but I'd be funny with it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I said, man, and this girl, and I want to give her a shout out. It was a girl, it was a rebound chick, because I broke up with the girl I was dating on campus.
Okay.
It's a rebound chick. I'm going to give her props. Her name was Toya Dixon. I will never forget this. I always talked about, I should do some comedy. I should start doing the stand-up. And I remember one day I was just riffing, talking shit. She wrote everything down on a yellow piece of paper. This little... Yeah, what is it called? The legal pad. So she's writing all these jokes and shit. And I woke up, I said, yo, what is all this? She goes, remember all the shit you were talking about yesterday was so funny? I wrote it all down. You should do this comedy thing. Wow. So from there, I said, when I get back to the city, because, Champaign, Urbana is a couple hours away from Chicago. I said, I'm going to go to the open mics. And that's when that shit
That's when the
started.
bug hit.
The bug hit, and I remember that's when I met with my partner to do comedy solo and a comedy team. Then the whole thing, and that's how pretty much it started, man. And I said I want to do comedy because I'm different, and I've always been very different. I'm original. I take pride in my originality. I take pride that. Well, listen. Here's the thing about being different. When you're different, it's a longer road, you see, because they can't put you in a box. But all my acting teachers say, don't let anybody put you in a box. Be amorphic. I go, this shit ain't working. You know what I'm saying? But I always took pride in being different.
Did they say anything about be employed?
Yeah.
Your ass, see, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm from Cleveland, y'all. It's not about Steve Harvey. This is about y'all. 85 South, I'm real proud to see that, because I don't work. I remember when I had $5 in Cleveland. I had one shoe, one damn shoe. See, y'all walking around here got 2 shoes. I used to do comedy barefoot. But God has blessed me. God done came in my life to see what he done did. See, I got a game show. I got a whole bunch of shows. You gonna ask me why? And you gonna ask me where? I'm gonna say, who the fuck are you? See, I understand. You guys got to believe in yourself. You can't just walk around here.
But I mean, I'm not. Listen, I've done things,
Right.
But I take pride in. You can see a bunch of comedians, right?
Yes.
You go to a comedy show, you see a whole bunch of people, but a lot of times people are doing the same kind of shit. But one thing I took pride in for myself was that, bam, I said, this dude was different. He was, you know what I'm saying? It's like I took pride in doing really smart shit. That was my thing. Because a lot of comedians that I know, and I'm not cracking, but a lot of comedians that I know that look like me are way more intelligent than than what you see on stage.
Right.
A lot of them have degrees. A lot of them are engineers and all this other. And then they go up there doing this shit. I go, you're not even from that neighborhood. Why are you front? Be yourself. I always believed in being myself. One of the first places that I did start in was the Cotton Club in Chicago, real quick. The Cotton Club, which Bernie Mac hosted every Monday.
Okay.
And that was when I first doing open mics, I was doing mainstream shit. Mainstream, just, everybody's there, mainstream. Well, they say the white rooms, but mainstream. So I said, you know what, I want to do black shit. I need to make sure I'm legit.
Like all the comments were calling. Yo, man, I did not know you had a Steve Harvey. I go, don't you have a Steve Harvey? I thought everybody does Steve Harvey. They say, no, you're the only one doing Steve Harvey. So it kept going viral. And Steve sent me a text. He goes, boy, when I see you, I'm going to beat your ass. I could just hear his voice in the text. Yeah. Oh, you got me fucked up, boy. I'm going to tell you this right now, from Cleveland. I don't know you know me. Steve, I hope you see this invitation. Because, boy, and his hand, you got the mannerisms. I'm going to tell you, God has blessed me. See, I was sleeping in my car. I had no damn money. But now I got money, boy. I'm going to find your ass.
You know what I'm saying? And they said, well, you need to go see Bernie Mac. And I was at this little poetry reciter. I said, Bernie Mac, who's that? He said, he's on the South Side. You go to his night on Mondays. He has a band and shit. You go Jimmy Car Wash Spinks. You remember the Car Wash? Mm-hmm. Remember the guy that played Hippo, the big fat dude?
Okay.
Jimmy's from Chicago too. And he was like, you got to go to their night. So I went and I said, let me go over there and see this Bernie Mac.
Okay.
Dude. So I went on Monday just to check it out. And I see this dark-skinned dude with glasses, when you walk in the Cotton Club, the stage is right there. So you can get talked about. Mm-hmm. So you see Bernie with this big towel. He's like, I'm sick and tired of being motherfucking sick and tired. I'm telling you, I'm tired of this shit, Right. And I was like, who the fuck is that Bernie Mac? And so after he got off stage, I said, hey, Bernie, he go, what's your name, man? What's your motherfucking name? I said, it's Godfrey. He said, all right. I said, I just started doing comedy. I would like to, I heard about your night. He said, okay, come next Monday, 8:00. You got 5 motherfucking minutes, right? And if you go any further, the band gonna motherfucking play. I said, all right. So that's where I had my relationship with Bernie Mac the whole night. And Bernie was impressed by me because I was one of the first dudes imitating him.
Right.
D-Ray. I was one of the first dudes imitating him, and he said, the one thing I like about you, Godfrey, is you're yourself. So Bernie was like, you don't even change you can do mainstream, you stay the same. I said, well, that's what I think is the best about comedy is being yourself and being true to yourself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because real gangsters know if you fake.
Cat Williams, you a cat, I'm a dog. You done with the wrong one. Top 5 answers on the board. Name something Steve Harvey fit to do when he see Cat Williams at. I'm gonna beat you down, boy. That's number 1 answer. You got me f***ed up and talk about my woman. You ain't gonna talk about my woman like that on my win. I don't care where, why, when. I'm gonna
Godfrey went on to say that he perfected his Harvey impression by watching the Family Feud for hours when he was on the road and didn't have many cable channels.
Talking about race, because I'm a race guy. I love going in. Even all white audiences, I go in. I don't go, hey, man, it's racism. We need to stop that shit. I go, nah, let me tell you about you guys. Let me tell you about your little microaggressions. Yeah. You know, I go in, but it's a craft. Right. If you can craft it, right. I do Trump support. I do the South. Trump support. And I'm talking about fucking hillbilly. You know, you from the South.
Right, of course I am.
You seen them Southerners, the mouth don't move. What day something right now? And he dying right there. Where they fucking them out. Right. Yeah, they fuck with me. But it depends on how depends on how you navigate the joke. Right. You know, I never changed. Black people just make you more loose. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Because you're in front of your people.
You're your people, but yeah.
But you got to be funny because they're going to let you know you're not funny.
No. Funny is funny. Yeah. And there's people who are the ghetto comics that are funny. Right. Then there's the intelligent ones that are funny. It depends on the person. Funny is funny. I don't give a what you doing. Right. Juggling, whatever. Right. Funny is funny. So I never change my shit. And one thing I know about black audiences, they like it if you're keeping it real, you from the hood, but they like it when you're talking about that pro-black shit too. Oh, yeah. They like both of that. Because whenever I'm talking about it, you can hear people like, preach, dog. That's what I'm talking about. Hell yeah. You see what I'm saying? So I'm able to craft that because I am a student of the game. I'm a student of comedy. I really study the people that have been before me. I am white, black. I know my comedy history. You know what I'm saying? So that's very important. And I like to be intelligent on stage. I'm the kind of comic that doesn't use the N-word because we had a debate about that. Okay. You know, there's comics I see, you know, that it'll be a majority audience that don't look like us. Right. And they'll use that word over and over. And I go, are these people laughing because the joke is funny? Or are they laughing because nigga is funny? Right. Because nigga is, let's be for real. Phonetically, it's a funny word. God damn, that word is funny. It's the top. It's the Nike of racial slurs. Yes. You know, like nigga is the top. Like spit, just don't say it. Spit can chink. Those are like Adidas, Reebok, but nigga. Like if I watch this joke, if I say, man, here come this bald head ass nigga, hilarious. Right. Here come this bald head ass brother. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. It's a little it's a little it's a little spice on that, right? Right. And we had a debate about that. I said, well, why do you use the word? Why do you use that word in front of people when you're really not like that? I understand cats that are like that. Like Cat Williams, when he does it, it matches. You
talk like that all the time.
Yeah. It's certain people that you go, yeah, I get that. Right. But there's some other cats that I go, yo, you're not even like that. But when you get in front of a certain audience, you use it in front of them. I don't know if it's irresponsible. Listen, I'm not telling anybody how to do comedy, but I just feel weird doing it. Right. I don't even use it in front of black audiences. Okay. You know? Yeah. But for me, this is my style. But when I do use the word, the N-word, I'm making a point about the N-word. Okay.
As you leave the page, kindly hit the like bell and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so as yet. Thank you.